Well, Carlos Correa has finally signed, and it is not with the team that we predicted, as Carlos Correa is headed to the Minnesota Twins. 3 years, $105.3 million. This video, I'm going to talk about the Carlos Correa signing, my reaction to it, what it means for the Twins, and what it means for some of the other suitors that were in on Carlos Correa. And then later on in this video, I'm going to go over the rumors surrounding Trevor Story and where he most likely will end up. In the comment section, tell me, what do you think about Carlos Correa going to the Minnesota Twins? Did you expect this at all? Because I certainly did not. This came at the last minutes. And also comment your thoughts on the latest rumors surrounding Trevor Story, where you think he's going to sign. And you know the drill. If you want to help me out, help the channel grow, you can subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Carlos Correa, this guy been in the free agent market way too long for somebody as talented as he is, as this year and his last year with Houston. He had a 279 average, 366 on base, 850 OPS. He hit 26 home runs and had 92 runs driven in. And Carlos Correa said he loves looking at his baseball savant page, so we'll check it out right here. As you can see, this guy, he was maybe even a bit unlucky when we look at things like his XBA. He's a guy that he doesn't chase too much, he doesn't whip too much. And he also definitely has taken some strides defensively, getting that outs above average to the 98th percentile. So not only are you getting an elite hitter, but you're also getting a really good defender. And what I find really interesting about this contract with Carlos Correa in Minnesota is that it's 3 years, and there is opt-out in both the first and second year. So let's say that Carlos Correa has another monster year, and he feels like he could probably get even better contract than he did with Minnesota from perhaps another team. He could do that, and the same goes for the second season. And he's going to be making the most money for an infielder, average annual value-wise. I know he's not getting the full total money because only 100 compared to some of the $300 million contracts we've seen. But obviously, we know that those contracts were 10 years, 12 years, things like that. So the fact that Correa took the short-term deal, 3 years, a few opts out, definitely a very smart business move for Carlos. I give a lot of props to Minnesota because in this offseason, we've seen plenty of teams that are willing to not compete. Teams like the Oakland Athletics and the Cincinnati Reds who have just been giving players away for salary purposes. Meanwhile, Minnesota has been trying to do what it takes to be competitive, at least make a run at it in the American League wild card or maybe even American League division. I still think the Chicago White Sox are the favorite in the Central, but at least Minnesota has done some things, adding somebody like Sonny Gray. The trade they made with the Yankees, which is now looking brilliant. I mean, you give up Josh Donaldson's contract, so instead of paying Josh Donaldson, you could pay Carlos Correa. And on the other side, the Yankees are not looking as smart because Carlos Correa was the guy that Yankee fans wanted the most. Even though they don't like Carlos Correa because he's been such a rival with one of their big rivals, the Houston Astros, they know how good he is. They know how much he could have helped them. Similar to Garrett Cole, a guy that was on Houston. You're like, oh, we got to get Garrett Cole, help our pitching staff. But because the Yankees took on all of Donaldson's contract, it didn't make sense for them money-wise. Boo-hoo, too much money for the Yankees. Can't afford it, right? I just find that hard to believe. We see what the Dodgers have been spending, what the Mets have been spending. The Yankees, they should be up there as well. They should be a team that's willing to spend a ton of money. They are the New York freaking Yankees. And it's going to be tough for Minnesota in the American League wild card with what Toronto has done this offseason, what the Red Sox are probably still yet to do. We know how good Tampa Bay is already. The Yankees will be in the mix. Seattle's made plenty of moves this offseason, so it's going to be exciting in the American League wild card again like it was last year. And last night I was begging the Baltimore Orioles to sign Carlos Correa just because I was begging pretty much any non-National League team to sign Carlos Correa. Like if he went to Arizona, he went to Pittsburgh, which is obviously not going to happen, but still, I would have been perfectly fine with that as long as it wasn't the Atlanta Braves. So thank you so much, Minnesota. All Met fans, really thank you, because Correa in Atlanta would have been so brutal. But let's talk about the other big shortstop on the market, Trevor Story. iTalk Studios said that Story is going to be signing with the Boston Red Sox, and I trust iTalk Studios. That is probably what is going to happen. But it hasn't officially happened quite yet. You know, some people are saying, oh, maybe the Yankees now get involved. Like I've said, if the Yankees haven't gotten Seager, if they haven't gotten Carlos Correa, I find it very hard to believe that they're now going to get Trevor Story. And if the reason why the Yankees didn't get Carlos Correa is because of the Donaldson contract, that would be the same as they'll get Trevor Story. Oh, we're giving Josh Donaldson too much money. We're giving Stanton and Cole too much money. And we want to save up some money for Aaron Judge. The other teams that have been linked to Trevor Story besides the Yankees and Boston, I've seen the Giants thrown out there, the Rangers, the Astros make a ton of sense because there was this belief that, maybe Carlos Correa, after all is said and done, maybe winds up back with the Astros. Well, now the Astros didn't pay Correa, they could just turn that money over to Trevor Story. And I think that would be a really nice fit. You make that American League West battle very exciting between Seattle and Houston. Texas, I don't think they're ready quite yet, even though they've had a really strong offseason. If they continue to build on it, maybe next offseason, I could definitely see Texas really getting in the race. But who knows? They could surprise us and still wind up in the race this year. Also seeing the Giants interested in Trevor Story. And Trevor Story wants to play shortstop, so the whole fit with Brandon Crawford would be pretty interesting. Could you imagine we're in this huge free agency shortstop market where we had a ton of big-time shortstops available? Can you imagine the Texas Rangers get 3 of them? Because they already got Semien, they already got Seager, and Trevor Story in there too? Wow. That would really be odd. We really would not have predicted that. We didn't predict Chris Bryant going to the Colorado Rockies. We did not predict Carlos Correa going to the Minnesota Twins. And I don't think we saw Texas getting 3 of these guys. Maybe 1, because we knew Texas was going to spend. But if somehow they got 3 of them, that would be pretty crazy. Like I said, in all likelihood, Trevor Story is headed over to the Boston Red Sox, and they already have a really good shortstop in Xander Bogaerts. So it looks like Xander's going to have to switch off there, maybe make him a DH, maybe move him to second. I know that would take some time away from Christian Arroyo, but do you really want Xander Bogaerts to be a DH when you're still paying JD Martinez? Unless Trevor Story's willing to move. I mean, that would be great. You could just move Story to second, or you could move Xander to third. Maybe Devers goes to first, but we know Dahlback has a ton of power, hit the first spring training home run. If Trevor Story actually does sign with Boston, has that affect their defensive lineup, and how they're going to move some guys around to make it fit? And then once Trevor Story is off the board, the last big free agent out there would be Michael Conforto. And again, as time is going on, as less suitors are becoming available for Michael, he may just have to come back to the Mets and say, I'm sorry that I was foolish. You guys gave me a qualifying offer. I turned it down. Gave me $100 million. I turned it down. I cried in right field, but you know what? I'm going to come back, see if I can try the market again next season, because nobody wants me. I can't imagine why. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Michael Conforto, anything else baseball, sports-wise. You can leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, be safe, be smart, be healthy. Let's go Mets. Hopefully Trevor Story signs with Boston or just any team in the American League. Please. Thank you.